Okay, so now that you're registered into WebAssign and hopefully you got to this page right here, you're going to notice that this is our homepage for our class. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you some of the things in here and I'm going to show you how to navigate this real fast, all right? And then throughout the semester, I'm going to be referring to this a lot. So I really want to make sure that we understand like where everything is. First, this is our homepage for our course. Now, it should say Math 165, Section Z04, Summer 1, 2022. All right. Across the top, we have this blue banner. Now, the blue banner, this is where you're going to find like your assignments, grades, communication counter, and ebooks. All right. But what's nice about this homepage is all that information is already in front of you. So the first thing I want to go over are the assignments. All right. So underneath here, you're going to see we already have some assignments listed. You got a quiz, and you already know when the due dates and everything for all this information is. Okay. Underneath, underneath will be communication. I will never communicate on WebAssign. It's always through Blackboard. Then you have your grades, and you can click on My Total if you wanted to. So right now your total should be 0, which ironically it says an F, but that's because we haven't done anything yet. All right, so your grade builds as you start doing more work. So let's go back here. All right, so give me a second. All right, so here we go. So my assignments. And then in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, this is going to be the most important part. This is where our books are going to be located. All right. So you'll see there are 2 books. The first book is called Pre-Statistics. All right. This is just a book for reference in case you forgot how to like do a quadratic equation or something like that. The actual book for our course is called Introduction to Probability and Statistics with the core requisite support, and the pre-stats is the core requisite support book. All right. But here is going to be our book right here. All right. Now, I know some of you may like a physical textbook, and that's cool. Actually, I'm one of those people. I like physical textbooks. So if I were you, all right, if you want a physical textbook, what I would probably do is go to like Amazon and search for, you don't need International Edition here. Just search for our book, Introduction to Probability and Statistics, Mendenhall, 14th edition. Because if you notice, I'm going to go back to the previous screen. Right now, we're dealing with the 15th edition, okay? So just look for the 14th edition. Just go back one edition. And as you can see here, the 14th edition is approximately $45 used. And this is just me doing a simple 5-second Amazon search. I'm sure you could probably find the book even cheaper at other places. Like if I look down here where it says more buying choices, if I click on 31 used, $22, $18.48, $24, $33, and you know, these are acceptable, used, good, whatever. It's up to you, really. All right. But to try to keep costs down as much as possible, I use the digital version. That way it's as cheap as possible. But like I said, if you really want a physical book, go ahead and get one of these, okay? Now, quite possibly the most important part of this video is going to be, well, how do we use WebAssign, okay? So I'm going to click on just this first one. Let me see here. Yeah, we'll do graphs of quantitative data. Let's see what happens here. Because I'll be honest, I forget what the questions are. So here we go. Across the top, tells you it's homework, tells you the section, tells you what the section is called, all right? There are 6 questions here. Your total score is 0 because we haven't done anything yet. All right. The most important thing, or 2 of the most important things, are going to be on the far right-hand side. First, I allow you to print all your assignments. I know some of us hate staring at a screen. If that's the case, just go ahead and print your assignment. And you can go ahead and print this. The only problem with printing is sometimes the homework could be like this. You could see it's 9 pages. So you're going to be printing 9 pages. All right. The next important spot is going to be right here. The due date. Right now, the due date for this homework is Sunday, May 29th by 11:59 p.m. All of my homeworks will always be due on Sundays by 11:59 p.m. Now, in the event that you cannot complete the homework by that date, that's fine. All you have to do is click here where it says Request Extension. So by clicking on Request Extension, all right, you're going to tell me when do you want the extension by? So let's say you needed just one more day. Well, you would just go ahead and you would click right there, all right? Or wait, I'm sorry, this is due the 29th. So you would click on the 30th. Don't worry about the time. I will always make it due 11:59 p.m. If you want to, you can type in a reason if you want. If you don't want to, that's fine with me. Then submit. You will get a request. You will get a confirmation that you went ahead and you requested the extension. And then I get a notification that you wanted the extension as well. All right. Please do it this way, because if you email me and you say, Professor Float, I didn't get a chance to finish chapter 1 homework. Could you go ahead and extend the homework for me? I'm not going to know, is it all of chapter 1 or is it just one section out of chapter 1? I have no idea. So just use this. It's the easiest and it's the fastest way for me to do that. Okay. Now let's go through and let's look at how we answer questions. Sometimes, like in this first example here, sometimes all you got to do is just click on an answer. That's it. Okay. So I'm just going to click on the first one here. All right. Because there's going to be a couple things that happen. First, anytime you click on an answer, every couple seconds, you will see across the bottom right there, it said last saved. WebAssign will automatically save what you clicked on. If you don't click on anything, it's not going to save anything. However, the most the most important or the way that you really want to make sure that your homework is saved, you would just go ahead and click submit answer. Okay. Now, I just obviously chose the first answer. So two things happened here. Number one, your homework has been automatically saved. All right. So everything up until this point is saved. Number two, you got a red X here. Well, clearly this answer is wrong. All right. I give you unlimited attempts at the homework, which means if you get an answer wrong, you can always go back and fix your answer. Okay. So right now this says, describe the shape of the distribution and look for any outliers. Okay. So this is what we call a dot plot. And it's just a way of organizing data, okay? And there's this thing called SALT. Now, we're going to be using SALT in this class, but it is not required. However, within my YouTube tutorials that I do, I use this because it allows us to do statistics very quickly, all right? So with here, and I'm not gonna show you how to use SALT right now. I got a whole separate video for that, okay? But you would just click here, and then it's going to open up SALT, which is the statistical analysis learning tool. And this is going to teach you on how to go ahead and use SALT to analyze data, because statistics is all about collecting data, organizing the data, analyzing the data, and then concluding. Okay. So right here is what this dot plot would look like. So you would go ahead and you would look at this and say, okay, well, the data that it gave us, here's what it looks like. And then you would just go back to the homework here. And then you would select the one that it kind of looks like. And I think it's going to be this one right here. And I would say the data, hold on, I'm reading real quick here. So I'm going to go ahead with letter C here. So hopefully if I did this quickly, no, I got it wrong, obviously. The data is skewed right. Oh, I didn't read all the way. Okay, yeah, there we go. All right. So the data is skewed right with one unusually large outlier. Notice homework is submitted. You got the green check marks. Also, up above here, your score starts to tally, which is fantastic. Okay. So there are a couple homework problems like that. Now, sometimes I may ask you to type something in, and for some reason, some students just, they think, oh, there's some stuff in parentheses. I don't need to read that. And what I mean by it is this: construct a stem and leaf plot for the 50 measurements and answer the question. Now, here's how you answer the question. It's in parentheses. You will enter the numbers from smallest to largest, separated by spaces. Enter none if there are no values. So let's say, for example, with the number 8, there are no values. Well, you would just type in the word none. So just type it in. Otherwise, you would be typing in numbers and providing spaces in between. All right. So please make sure that you are reading what's ever inside the parentheses, because that will tell you how to input your answer. Okay. Sometimes you will just be asked to go ahead and graph, look for a graph. If that's the case, pen and pencil is probably the quickest way to do that. And I think that's going to be it for this video. It's just a crash course in WebAssign and how to use it. So let's just recap things real quick. First, for your homework, if you want to, you can print the assignment. Second, know your due dates. All right. If you can't make the due date, all you got to do is let me know. I'm the most easygoing person I think there's ever been to live. All right. Request the extension then. Okay. I'll help you out with that. The one thing I cannot do is read your mind. All right. So I want to make sure that you got more than enough time to complete your assignments. Next, make sure that you are reading how to input your answers. That's always in parentheses, okay? Finally, and this is the last thing, if you need help, there are a lot of different avenues. First, if you look down here where it says need help at the bottom left of your screen, you're going to get 3 options. Read it, watch it, practice another version. The read it, if you click on read it, a new window will pop up and it will take you to the section in the book where you would learn what this material is trying to demonstrate. Okay. It won't take you to the exact point in the book, only the section. So that's the first. Second, you can watch it. So if the watch it is available, you can watch an example on how this person will do the stem and leaf plot. And then you can just go ahead and model your problem based off that. Clearly, the third would be practice another version. It's just going to give you another version of the question. And then I think one of the most important ones is actually in the upper right-hand corner of your screen where it says ask your teacher. Now, here, this is where you're going to ask me, how do I do this problem? You can say, something like, where do I start? Or why am I getting this wrong? I think I'm getting it right. I think I'm doing it right, but I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. Okay. Now, the reason I'm showing you the ask your teacher is this. You will notice within this data set, all the numbers are red, which means every single student in this class will have different values there. If you send me an email and say, Professor Float, section 1.3, question 3, I don't know why I'm getting it wrong. Well, I'm gonna email you back and say, I don't know why either, because I don't know your problem. Every single person has a different problem. So if you use the ask your teacher feature, all right, so let me show you where that is again. So give me a second, let me copy and paste this. All right, so right here, ask your teacher, this little drop down pops up. If you want to, you can type something in here. When you click on send, I will get a notification that you had a question, and on your homework, you're going to have this little envelope that says you sent me a question. Okay, so you can always click on it, and right here, if it's something small, I'm just going to type a response for you. Okay, if it's something big, I'm just going to send you back an answer that I wrote up for you. Okay, so please use the ask your teacher feature. That way, I know what problem you had. And what I mean by problem is the actual listed homework problem. Okay. So like I said, real quick, your score, print the assignment, due date, help, ask your teacher, make sure you read the parentheses to know how to put your answer in. The final thing I want to go over would be something like this. All right. So when it asks you what proportion of students ate more than 6 cheeseburgers and that week, and we're gonna learn how to do this. When it says enter a number, okay, that means you can enter any number you want, okay? But sometimes in this little gray area, it's gonna say enter an exact number. An exact number means a fraction, not a decimal, okay? So if you get the question wrong, let's say the answer was 1/2. But you typed in 0.5, it's going to mark it wrong. So make sure you are paying attention to how WebAssign wants the answer. This is one of the major downfalls that online homework possesses, is sometimes you got to know how to play the game, meaning you got to know how to type in your answer. 0.5 is a completely acceptable answer on a written test, all right, in class. However, this is online, so You got to play the rules, or you got to play the game to the rules that WebAssign wants you to do it. So make sure you're doing that correctly. On a test, I go through everyone's test and I make sure that there are no typos. So, um, if you have a typo on a test, you can let me know, but don't worry, I go over it anyways. And I will send out a Blackboard message saying, hey, I'm going to go through the exams to make sure there are no typos. All right. So I think this video is long enough. I'm going to let you go with that. I'm excited for this semester to start. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Bye.